The Ant and the Fly on the Moon. It was, in a tiny little garden on Earth, there lived a very curious ant named Alvin. Alvin wasn't like the other ants who only cared about carrying food back to the colony. Oh no, Alvin had big dreams. He didn't want to explore the next hill or the neighbor's picnic. He wanted to go to the moon. One day, Alvin was dragging a cookie crumb across the yard when a lazy fly named Fred buzzed down and landed on the crumb. "Hey Alvin, why are you always working so hard? Just buzz around like me and catch a breeze," Fred said, picking his teeth with a tiny twig. "I'm working hard because I'm saving up for my dream trip to the moon," Alvin declared, his antennae twitching with excitement. Fred nearly fell off the crumb laughing. "The moon? You? An ant? That's hilarious. How are you going to get all the way up there? Walk?" Alvin looked Fred straight in the eye. "Actually, I'm building a spaceship." Fred stopped laughing. "Wait, what? A spaceship? Where?" Alvin proudly pointed a tiny leg towards a giant soda can. "Right there. It's got everything, a peanut for fuel, a leaf for the steering wheel, and a bottle cap for the helmet. I'm going to the moon." Fred was so curious he decided to help. Together, they built the rocket ship. Well, Alvin did most of the work while Fred flew around making helpful suggestions like, "Why don't you add wings so you can flap there?" Finally, the big day came. Alvin packed his helmet, some cookie crumbs for snacks, and climbed into the soda can. Fred was buzzing nervously around the can. Alvin, what if you get lost? Or bored? Or what if there's a giant moon monster? Then I'll make friends with the monster and share my cookies," Alvin replied coolly. With a loud pop and a shake, the rocket launched. Up, up, up it went, past clouds, birds, and Fred. Alvin was headed for the moon. When Alvin landed on the moon, he couldn't believe his eyes. There were no other ants, no picnics, and no gravity. He floated right out of the soda can. Alvin spun around in the air and laughed. "This is amazing." Just then, a buzzing sound came from behind him. It was Fred. He had hitched a ride on the back of the rocket. Okay, this is kind of cool," Fred admitted, zooming around in circles. "But where's all the cheese? Isn't the moon made of cheese?" Alvin scratched his head. "I don't know, but let's find out." They bounced around the moon, searching for cheese, until Alvin found something even better, a giant crater filled with cookie crumbs. They both dove in, munching and laughing. Alvin had never been happier. "Best trip ever!" Alvin shouted, throwing a cookie crumb in the air. Fred buzzed in agreement, his belly full. "Next time, let's go to Mars. I hear it's got marshmallow mountains." And so, the ant and the fly, once just a tiny bug and a lazy fly in a garden, became the first insects to explore the moon, and maybe one day, Mars. The end.